Well, hello my friends, and welcome back everybody on today's daily stream of the open source developer work. So today I'm going to let me make my sound a little bit. Let me check the OBS. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, so today I'm going to move this task to the 2.0 milestone. So I wanted just to share, like usually I share my open source work about this after init phase command. So inside RoadRunner we have a pool of workers, and this pool of workers you can attach commands. Let me RoadRunner. You can run some commands on init phase, like here. So this is kind of old feature which I added to the RoadRunner, I guess, like 2 years ago. And the main purpose of this command is to just allow the user to execute some script here, which can be attached to the server. Like, for example, it can be like some preparation work before the actual worker starts, and yeah, ping some server that we are starting, and so on, so on. So, but this proposal is about after init. So the command which we can run after we initialize a pool of workers. So basically, this feature is about notifying the Kubernetes cluster, for example, that RoadRunner has started. Yeah. And as you may see, I use slightly new another one Linux distro, like testing. So this is PopOS, and I'm kind of surprised about all of this, how it works. It actually works super cool. I moved out of the i3 because it was like super laggy for me. I don't know why it becomes just super laggy. Because I think because of Arch Linux. So Arch Linux adds a lot of new packages. So I don't know. I don't want to care about all this stuff. And PopOS seems to quite stable. They still use GNOME version 42. Version 42, it's like, I don't know, a year ago or 2 years or year and a half. So it's like kind of old and stable. And they are, what impressed me, they are developing their own desktop called Cosmic. Let me see if it's PopOS Cosmic. It's still not released, but they have some screenshots how it looks like, and yeah, how you can manage desktops, and etc, etc. So I know it works pretty good for me. They understand, so the basic thing that PopOS developers understand is that Wayland is not ready yet. So there are a lot of problems with Wayland, and it's not ready yet for broad usage of for all users, even on the AMD cards. So there are a lot of problems, and that because they won't switch to most recent GNOME versions. And they do understand one super thing which super bothering me, is about the GNOME. So every GNOME release, they break something. So they break extensions, they break API, they break, so they can't just release a new version without any breaks. You can say, yeah, this is major releases like 41, 42, 43, 44, but so there are a lot of breaks which so a lot of all of the ecosystem of this extensions should handle all of this breaking changes, and this is kind of bothering me a lot. about GNOME, and so yeah, so they kind of, I know, Pop OS developers kind of good, and they have this. I found that they have laptops, and I wanted by the end of the year, I wanted to. I'm thinking about buying one of them. It's like, first of all, they all powered with Core Boot. This is new, like BIOS system, open source, and I think I'll be fine with this one. I know how it can handle like NVIDIA RTX 4080 or 4090. So I don't know. I just want to see how the laptop can handle this card. I know this is mobile version, but still, this is kind of funny. Okay, so let's get to the coding. So what is stable for me? I'm still using NeoVim, and I found that the Go handles all of this stuff related to LSP pretty bad, so super bad. I'm thinking about how to use debug all of the things inside. It basically works in Visual Studio Code, but NeoVim integration is kind of bad. I don't like how they integrated debugger and all the things, because debugger is like pain in the ass for me. Okay, so let's move on. So we have first of all, let's create a branch like feature like this, and let's think a little. So with OnInit, it was like pretty pretty good to implement, because OnInit phase can be run on the serve with the serve, which basically runs after all plugin initialization, and this plugin should be run first before initializing any pool can like initialize. So before calling this KMD factory, like all of these methods down the road. So basically run on it, it's like basic, like running basic process, CMD start, as you can see here, and running a routine to clear up the kernel process table from zombie processes. And this so if it's on error, it just logs an error, so without stopping execution of like any plugins. So it's just like informational, so it can run or it can like be failed, like it's actually doesn't matter. With AfterInit, we don't have after serve or this function which can be easily integrate here. Moreover, users wanted to like override this function, like to have this function inside a pool. And I'm now thinking about, so we can easily override a command. So there are no problems with overriding a command. We can just pass an argument to the pool, and and override its CMD field, whatever. But this is kind of tricky with OnInit running before the pool initialization. So we can. So how we can actually do this? Oh, by the way, we have a test. When we have these tests, plugins, serve, Ser plugin tests. Yeah. Test TCP on init. What options do we have? So we can rather put this mode inside a pool. Like here, when we write a command. Let me. Okay. To command. So how we write a command? So first of all, this is not a test. This is SDK. SDK now Vim. New pool. New static pool should be, I think. Oh. Okay, so here's a new pool. And inside the pool we have this CMD. Yeah. Come on. And we can override this CMD inside the allocator. Am I right? Allocate parallel. Why? So this is allocator. Where is it? Why we don't use allocate parallel? Do we use it? Oh yeah. So it's down the road here. Yeah. So yeah, now we're using parallel allocator. This is fine. And CMD we only use here. CMD spawn with context. And then new sync worker watcher. This is fine. And allocate parallel. Our group no workers, yeah, allocator should be. Yeah. And where's our oh yeah, so our right should be inside. Yeah. Inside it, sir. Yeah. should be somewhere here. CMD factory. Where is command overriding? So I just lost the context. Command. Oh, this. Oh, yeah. So it should be inside the configuration, and yeah, and here you have the command. Go to references. Yeah, nipple locator. Yeah. So, and if we have a command here, like this, we can wrap it with CMD. Yeah, and override. Yeah. So CMD is just like a function with, like, you know, it's just wrapper around the command to call. Yeah. Detective Pikachu found the place. Okay, so the next thing here is to, so since why we just pass, I don't know why I passed here the CMD and command instead of just passing CMD already wrapped with this command. This is kind of strange decision. CMD and wrapper with the command. Do we have oh yeah, so yeah, I get it. Where you are should be here, and oh yeah. We initialized command before. Yeah. So we pass first of all we initialize a command, pass it inside the pool, and this is kind of wrapper around like bigger command. So to allocate, this is just a regular command, but which accepts a string, which is actually command, as an argument, and returns an exec command. So this is operation system like wrapper over the command. Yeah. So okay, and we wanted to override. So first of all, I I wanted to introduce a new function. We actually we don't need to. So the only thing who can touch our pool is our our server plugin. So, and this is kind of problematic because I realized that we don't need options pattern here. So with options, we can easily add new options to like initialize new fields. So this is kind of good pattern. I do like it inside Golang. So this let me option, do we have it? Yeah, like here. So we can pass actually, and so here inside init-based worker we have this argument called options. So, and this is variadic, so it can be nil. So you can just use init-based worker with only one command without breaking your API, with having these options, which you can later like decide, oh, so I need an additional field, additional like thing like logger, for example. and you can do like this with logger and initialize your logger. But here down the road, you can use just like if logger is nil, so you don't have this option. So and logger is nil, you can like handle this case initializing the, like in my case, this is new production logger, like this. And inside pool, I think we should definitely have this addition. But as usual, but I don't want to yeah, let me Xcali draw. Oh my god, so bright. So we have, so a basic relationship between all of this kind of stuff is the following. So we have a server plugin. Server plugin is responsible for all allocation, pool allocations within RoadRunner. So it allocates the transports like TCP pipes, so etc., and allocating pool with this new pool method from the SDK, and then pass this pool to other plugins, for example, to the HTTP. So server is a kind of, you know, like a central place of allocating all of this kind of stuff related to the workers, only to the workers. So all other stuff allocated inside like single plugins. And in our case, I don't want to have this option inside a global server, because, you know, basically this is kind of strange to me if user have like all plugins, like all 4 plugins which can allocate workers. It's like HTTP, I think it's 4. HTTP plugin can allocate workers, TCP, gRPC, temporal, jobs 5, centrifuge, 6. Yeah, so there are a lot of plugins, and this is, I don't know. I don't think I know what's better, to have like one central command, or to have this command that we can override. Okay, so let's during the implementation, I think we can decide better. We have terminal, git checkout after init, and this is our factory. Hello, Naga. So yeah, now I'm on PopOS. I think, yeah, it's good. So I'm not stable in this way, you know. It's I'm always trying to new things, and in case of operating systems, I still, so I started to write my own operating system because I still see that there are a lot of things I don't like in any operating system I am trying to use. In Windows, so I do like Windows, but they have, I don't know, they have their terminal, and this terminal works like a shit. Because I don't know why it works like a shit with Tmax. But so I saw a lot of glitches, like GUI glitches, and it is like too scary for me. And I can't find a way out of this because, you know, my work environment is still inside NeoVim and inside Linux and inside the terminal. I don't use a lot of outside graphical tools like this is modern Docker desktop features, like where you can, open the graphical user environment with a Docker and do something. I don't use a lot of browser because most of my work is related to the servers. So basically everything. So basically I need only an terminal, and that's it. So, and I don't care about the operating system much until it starts to have glitches. I don't like how Linux currently developed on desktops, because this is so you can have some kind of work environment, some kind of a laptop which employee can provide to you with PopOS or any Linux installed, and you can use it only for programming, only for terminal, and this is good. But since I'm using my PC not only for programming, so this is kinda problematic, to do a lot of things on only one operating system. I also tried to have I have 4 hard drives, like backups, and 3 NVMe, and I tried to install Windows on one hard drive and have a Linux on another, and experimental one on a third. But still, it's I don't like. I wanted to have a single great environment to like some idealistic world, and I'm still can't find it. Still, I'm trying. So PopOS, actually, I'm waiting for the Cosmic. So I'm think that they can develop pretty good desktop environment, since they have a lot of hardware problems, and so PopOS share the same thoughts about current desktop ecosystem situation inside Linux as me, as well. So I'm agreed with them in a lot of ways. For example, of this, let's use Wayland. Wayland is the way, only Wayland. We should use Wayland. Everyone use Wayland. So Wayland currently is no way. NVIDIA or AMD doesn't matter. And Wayland currently is trash. And since still Wayland currently under the development for the, let's say, 14 years, I think, and it still sucks compared to Access. A lot of vendors don't want to update their desktops. Not desktops, applications to them Wayland, and this is pretty problematic. And in this case, I do like macOS and Windows. They have only one vendor, one GUI, so one way of doing things, and a lot of distros currently mimicking of these initials from this initial state. So all of this kind of stuff, Windows was developed by originally by, I think, by macOS, but before was a company, I forgot the name, who developed all this kind of modern Windows systems and all of this paradigm. And I don't know. So for me, at the moment, PopOS is good, and Arch Linux. I used Arch Linux for the 2 years, or 3 years, I think. So before I was on Manjaro and I switched to Arch Linux. So Arch Linux is, they have a great Arch wiki. They have this Arch. I use Arch, by the way, all of that kind of stuff. But still, it's just a distro. So if I needed to compile, for example, Tmux, I just get into Tmux repository, downloading Tmux. So, and I have modern version. I don't think that a lot of users wanted to have a super modern software on their PC. So I think most of the users wanted to have their laptops, PCs are to be stable. And this is kind of thing, I think. Okay, so let's add the options. I thought that I have an option. Yeah. Strange. So I have this logger, but I don't have a. Oh yeah. So this is because I don't know why this is because. No, I don't want to break existing API and let's do like this. And to the command, let's add after init cmd yeah, I know that's unused. And let's with after init cmd java hello with long method names, after init AI API, like let's call it after init. After init would be our pull cmd pull command and options return func after init cmd is after init, like this. And in this place so if we have after init, so first of all we should handle two cases. This is first case and this is the second one. So if we have a supervisor, so at this no, I think we should put it here. Why? Because at this point we already initialized workers. So this is the point when we know that there are no errors, and the only thing we should do is just like if we have supervisor to start our supervisor, and this is this is not blocking function. Yeah, so not here but here. So right after init, why I put this command here, because I wanted to override it from the server. So here inside the server, by the way, let's use super cool technique called replace to use our local repositories. GitHub.com RoadRunner server SDK version 4. Could you please point it to the local and SDK? Yeah, like this. SDK. Okay, should be fine. And inside a plugin where we have cmd factory, custom cmd new worker. Yeah, and this is a method where we use a pool. Yeah, and inside a pool we can do the following. Static pool with What? Where's my comment? Options, yeah, so this comment is correct. With after cmd. Oh, I forgot to save it. Yeah, I forgot to save it. Not enough arguments to call. Okay, so how we can distinguish between this? So we have basically we have two states. What font is that looks clean? This is just standard one. Nerd fonts. I think this one. This is Sphere Code Retina, I think. So we have, so how we can distinguish between two options here, like with after init cmd, and so do we have it override? Should we override it, or we can use default one? So if we have this inside this configuration, this is command and this is after init command to run after pull initialization. What? After init. Yeah, and we also should have this configuration like this. This becomes not the property on for the on init only, but for the all types of init. Init configuration and map structure after like this. If we do have this after init configuration, so we can't involve on a execution timeout or environment variables. They should be set on the server, but we can basically override a comment. So what we care about to override a comment, and this is, you know, this is on init, and yeah, this is fine. Let's put it together like here. And do we need some kind of yeah, we also should have this kind of initialization. So if configuration after init is not equal to nil, after init command should not be nil as well, and this one should be not nil as well too. So if we do have an after init, so we also should check that we have a command. So this is ridiculous if you use like after init without a command. So this is kind of why do you need this? So we check this command and we check the execution timeout. This is two basic things which we should check. So what the difference basically between after init and just regular worker. So after init and on init scripts can be run with any kind of executable you wanted to have. Like it can be run with PHP script, with Golang binary compiled, like so it basically anything that can be run on your operating system. So it's there are no limits to have this as a worker, as our worker. So there are no limits on this. So we can use it basically everything, anything you want. Okay, so I also think that we should have some diagnostic errors. No? Nothing? Yeah, not enough arguments. I wanted to LSP, what is my diagnostic? Yeah, it should be D. Oh yeah, this is, oh, this is without this is without any leader key. Space E. Why? Oh, this should be run on diagnostic, yeah. Like this. Boom. Not enough arguments. I know this. I leave this by purpose. I wanted to test the diagnostic jumps. Go to prev, go to next, diagnostic, set lock list. Oh. Get out, please. So can I do this? Oh yeah, so I can do this from any place. Cool. So I wanted to just to see my errors where I have them. Okay, so and what we should pass to this after init cmd, we should pass an command. Yeah. I don't think so. We should pass here just a string. Yeah, since we wanted to override it. So I only wanted to override it. I don't need to pass an entire command here. Or I do need this. So this is custom cmd. Yeah, and this is why I'm using this pool cmd. This is just an wrapper around this function which accepts a string and returns an CMD. And why? So I do need the things. So if there are no commands, there's no command provided, so I can override it with the command provided by the pool. Yeah, I'm sorry, not the pool, but this this thing here. And then I can pass it to like later steps here to prepare and etc to split it, extract arguments, and etc. So the basic things, if we have a command to override, so we can override this command. If we don't have it, we are not overriding it with anything. And here, where's our pool? Yeah. And where's our configuration? CMD. Yeah, and here how it works. Yeah, this is a place. How it works. CMD command. So this is this wrapper CMD command, which you saw here, like this one. So we provide it down to the pool, and if we don't have a command, as I mentioned before, we should use like a standard one, like just a callback. And here, so we are passing it this argument CMD with a command here, and we don't care if it's empty. So if it's empty, it will be handled by the server, which should handle this case. We are inside the pool. We don't care about this. Command should be provided by the server. That's it. Yeah, and in this way, we also should have our custom CMD. For the after init. So if we don't have an Felix Taking, hello, welcome on stream. I forgot to update my dot files. This is the most famous one. Now we this is this one, Tokyo Night. Tokyo Night, I think this is Moon. Tokyo Night Moon. Here you are. No problem. You're very welcome. So it's not a problem for me to answer any questions. So if you have questions about the configuration, etc., so I will be happy to answer. Where's my... Okay. So custom CMD. We can do the following. Where's our error? Yeah. P custom command and pass it like this. But we also should handle a case if so we have a command and we have so we assign it to the command, but here we should assign it to after init command, you know. Yeah. I don't like to repeat myself, So here is the function. So this is, so I should find a way how to handle these cases, like several cases with this single function. I don't want to just copy this function and change this, like command is equal to configuration and after need and command here like this. I don't want to do like this. Instead, why are you recording this? Instead, I want to have like single entry point on all of these commands. For sure we can provide an argument like what to do, actually, like command and okay, so like some kind of enum what command to write, like this, for example, some what to do, like that won't be a string, but it will be actually like type what to do struct, what to do const, no, it will be const what to do string, and let me check this, and now going. I hate this feature of Go that we don't have enum, and we should do like this. It should be like this type what to do string and then const and then let's say override. It's just a sample. Override cmd what to do is equal like cmd. So it's actually doesn't matter. And here we can pass like what to do class. Yeah, this is not a class. What to do like this. What to do. And then like switch what to do case override cmd and then command is equal pcfg command like this. I don't like this way of first of all, so we don't have enums in Golang. We don't have enums. I don't know why. So this is a good question to ask from Google. Why Go doesn't have enums? I'm like more than 5 years in Go, and I'm still don't have an answer on this question. Why we don't have enums? Since in Rust we have super cool enums, like they are awesome. So just compare Rust enums. Yeah, they are super sexy. You can like define an address, IP address with them. You can like use them inside the functions. you can even pass in arguments inside them, like this string from, but where is the sample? Yeah, like this. So in Go, you have to do like this, like string or pass an IP address to some function, which return you to like, you know, some answer. Inside Rust, you can do like this: v4 string and v6 string and IP address v4, IP address v6. This is super cool, I think. Or like this, which is like more convenient way to write an IP address, like this. You know, this is super cool, and this is only not only with IP address. You can see like you can define the moves. You can like do a lot of things with enums in Rust. They are super powerful and super cool to write in them. But in Go, ta-da! In Go we have this this piece of shit. Like, you should define a type, then you should define a constants, a set of constants. Like we like trying to do this. I don't think what. So definitely Rust way is better than I mean in enums than Go way. Okay, this is Holy War, I think. But since I'm, you know, I think a 5 or 6 year in Go and a year in Rust, so I don't count. I don't count and like my previous experience with C# and all the things, but the most shittier enums I saw in my experience, the Go type of handle this enums like this. Okay, how we can call this? What to do? Just a joke for sure. So first of all, we can pass it. We should pass it like callback here. What to do? What to do? Like this. So I don't want to, you know, break this existing command. And we have a write cmd override after. I don't know. I think we don't need this word override. Like just command after init. So these strings actually doesn't matter. They matters if you wanted to pass a string. So you can always wrap your string with this what to do to have this constants here. We should have command. We should have after init. After. Come on. After init. What we should override in this case? I think that was useless. We can't pass a command here. I think. Let me think a little bit. After init. So okay, we have a So we have only one command here, yeah? And like this, it should be like configuration after init command. I think it should be like this. We should definitely check this for nil, yeah, because it's like nil pointer exception is too obvious to have in this place. And default case would be panic. There are very few places inside the RoadRunner where it can fail in panic. I think this is like on purpose, I guess. This is first place with this custom CMD, and the second place is inside the worker watcher if we can't allocate worker after several retries. So user, for example, changed a command or worker is broken or something like this. Like we just can't allocate a worker, so we can't continue working. So in this case, we just goodbye, boys. I'm panicking. So this is panic. So panic in Golang, I just want to clarify the things. So panic in Golang, it's not the same as the exception in other languages, like C#, for example. Panic in Golang means that something really unexpected happened, like this, for example. So I'm not expecting that user won't touch this API since it's private. I won't expect that I don't provide this what to do function. It's just like, you know, I changed the name for sure, just like temporarily. So I don't expect that I miss a place where I just put a trash here. So in this case, I'm panicking. And we can recover from panicking Golang with defer recover. This is not so obvious how you may expect, like, oh, we have a function, we can use defer, we can recover. So this is a little bit tricky. First of all, this matters where you are actually at the moment of panic. So if you will be inside the routine and use defer inside the routine, so nothing happened. Your application will like just shut down. You should care that the panic occurred in the same routine as your and as in your recover. And the second is panic is like can leave some resources open. Defer may not execute it if you used them incorrectly. So that can lead, if you recover from panic, it's like, okay, this is like soft panic, I can recover from it and can move forward. So make attention that you don't have all your open resources at the moment of panic are closed. I mean, which you expect it to be closed, like files which opened for writing, etc., etc. So this is kind of handy case of handling panics in Golang. My way here is I don't use recover at all. Like I don't use this kind of shit like recover middleware, all of this kind of we can recover from this call. For sure, it can be useful to recover from panic inside the middleware. So to provide some kind of 500 response to the user and then shut down your application. So like this. And this way, it's perfectly okay. But in all other cases, I think it's not going to... I don't want to use this case of recover. I prefer to just... Okay, so we have some kind of unexpected situation inside the application. Here you are a trace of this case, and please dig into it and fix it. So this is not an exception. So exception, I think, in other languages can be compared to the error in Golang in some way. So they are not the same, I think, but in some way you can compare them. When you return an error, you can't. So in early stages of Go, you won't be able to wrap an errors into an error and then to extract the first exception. And that because I wrote a package called errors, this one, errors, to have typed errors. So I have kinds of errors, like this is hard to imagine for the application like which uses exceptions, but here this is the Go way. Error core kinds of errors, like it was written a long time ago, I think like 4 years ago, and I'm still using it. So I can parse stack traces, can provide it timing. So basically I can provide the information, only I need to debug the RoadRunner cases, or user can compile RoadRunner with the debug tag and have like a lot of information about the error happened in a kind of structured way. Where is this test? Yeah, in this way, like this one. Because, you know, very often panic is like a big text on your screen without any delimiters, without any new lines, and etc., etc. So this is how error shown with this package. So it's like super cool, line by line function and errors, like what happened inside this function. For example, like this, like error occurred, and this is I handle nested errors, like error in action, and I can extract basically this error serve. I can compare if my error is of type of serve error, even if it's wrapped with like network error and etc. kind of error. So I can extract basically every error on every layer I wanted to extract. So this is this project was inspired by, I think this was a very old project called Upspin or Unspin, like this, written by Rob Pike. I even asked Rob Pike about this, some cases, and fixed some issues in this package, and wrote a letter to, like, email to Rob Pike asking why there are a lot of allocations, here. And Rob Pike like, I'm sorry, but we don't care because this is debug code. Nerd. No, I'm just joking. He was like very kind on answering me. It was like, oh my God, Rob Pike answered me. Okay, so let's move forward. What to do? How? I think it would be fine to name it like this. Right, and override. Okay. And here we can just allocate a command. I'm thinking if it's like overkill to allocate just after init command with this allocator. Let me double check this pool. What we have here. Oh, by the way, what is about the tests? Yeah, as we see here, so we won't break any tests here, like by adding this new argument, which is actually variadic. As we see here, we have like a context, function, pipe, this factory, configuration, and logger. But we also have here an options, and we won't break in our existing API. So I don't need to change every single test function of the new pool. So this is super cool, and variadic should be the last argument in the function. So okay, so where's our command? Yeah, so we have configuration, and we have a command here. Use it to override. Okay, and after init command string is also map structure, which is actually like this. So if we do have this after init command, yeah. So how we can handle the case if we do have this after init command inside a pool, you know, and we don't have it inside a server. So in this case, we would expect that this command here after init would be initialized. Yeah. Actually, we don't care about this. We should not care about this. Okay, we wanted to override this command. If command is equal to nothing. Oh yeah, by the way, and we should put it here. So if there are no command, oh yeah, this is if there are no command, we override it, but then we also override it. Break. So if command is equal to nothing, we use this one. Oh, wait. If command equal to nothing, we just override it. We just use a standard one. We don't need a break. What is stupid dump? So here we don't need to use so we override only if command exists. So if if doesn't exist. So if command doesn't exist, we just override it. We just use a standard command here, and the same happens here. So if we don't have this command provided by the pool, so pool have nothing to override, so we don't have it. It's easy. And then we use this after init command here. But we should also check in this case if configuration after init is equal to nil. we should break, I think. So we just don't have a command to use. So user, or basically, since this is private API, it's me. So I'm so dumb that I like skipped allocating a command inside the configuration and provided the empty configuration with this after init override. So it can happen. Yeah, I can do this easily. So if it's empty, what we should do? So how it can happen? Where is our plugin? And I forget the name of this method. CMD factory. No. Custom. I can just go to the references. Yeah, here we should pass we override command, and in this place we override after init, like this. We don't have an errors anymore. Okay, looks legit. Custom new pool, writing a command with after init cmd and after init. So if we get here, we should provide a command. If we don't have the command, yeah. So this is I think this should not be returned. This should be return nil. So if we don't have should we call this if we don't have an after init? So if we don't have an after init specified in our server like this, we shouldn't even like allocate this. Okay guys, give me a second. Okay, let's think. So on init, if after init is not equal to nil, yeah, and this is what's the differences between the command created by the on init and the regular command. I think that if we wanted to override this on init command, we should, I'm sorry, after init. So first of all, there is no difference between this on init command and the after init command, because they are basically the same. The two very similar commands, and I'm thinking so. For from the user point of view, from the user perspective, how it will look, how it looks like to have this command. So we can override the after init, but we can't override on init. So if I wanted to provide a way to override the after init command, I for sure should provide a way to override an on init command, because these two approaches can be very different from each other, you know. So I mean, if you have after init command, I'm sorry, on init command on the HTTP plugin, for example, yeah, then it might be different if you have some temporal plugin. It's just my guess. I don't know, but might be we don't need to. Might be we don't need to do all of this kind of stuff, and we only need to. Let's see on the ticket. Yeah, this is fair point. If for gRPC or HTTP, so that I could start accepting requests without waiting the job plugin. But this concept of what we do have this. New feature request. So I don't know, might be this is a good point. I'm sorry. So basically what is it? If we have services, yeah, I think this is a fair point, because services runs under the root, or whatever user you use to run RoadRunner. But we can more precisely specify and yeah, so I think we can get this next in a row. But yeah, for the for our existing ticket, oh, let's check this. Let me check one more time. Yeah, okay, so entry point, so let's see the APK update. All these files also copied under the like, oh, OpenSource, yeah. Where is APK update? Might be this is useless to run this command, because we are not installing anything except install PHP extensions, which is already mounted. Okay. Resolve. I still don't like this section, how it was updated. Let me watch this file. Nginx plus RoadRunner. Where's it? Okay. Why it's like okay, I'll look at this a little bit later. Still have questions for this pull request. Yeah, so we also have this adaptive scaling. I I don't think so. So this is very hard to say. So adding new features is very complicated process in Linux brother. Yeah. hello Linux brother. So adding new features, is a very complicated process, and in open source this process is even complicated because you first of all you're not like in your team. So imagine that you work in some company, you have a team of developers, so the only way of requesting some feature is the business demand or support ticket request or consumer ticket request, like for your consumers. If you're working on a product, for example, you can have like some bug tracker, or if it's not open source, like you can have like some issue tracker or email where user can provide, or some like forum where user can like ask a feature. But for the process of discussing, of accepting new features is pretty closed in a lot of like products. Here is in open source, this process becomes even complicated because so we have an option. So we have PHP FPM, like this super cool but old server for the PHP. And we have these options. Do we want to have the same options with the RoadRunner? I don't know. Might be we do, but the questions are, so what is the current state of the modern orchestration features like Kubernetes? I don't know what is the name of HashiCorp, Nomad, yeah, HashiCorp, Nomad, and all of these things which can easily scale RoadRunner pods or RoadRunner cubes or whatever they call these small instances of the RoadRunner. So with these dynamic and on-demand pull options, we can basically cover the needs of like projects which runs on a single server, and this is fine. So if you run on a single server, yeah, might be this would be a good feature for you to have a dynamic like dynamic pool where you can allocate workers on if for example you have a like increased latency for the HTTP plugin, or whatever metrics you wanted to choose. So but I should have 100% a vision that this feature won't be the waste of time for the RoadRunner. Since I see a lot of things, as I mentioned before, like Kubernetes, like Nomad, and if you have small project, might be static would be enough for you. Like it's fine to allocate like 10 workers. They are only so memory nowadays is cheap, super cheap, and you can have like 4 gigs of RAM, 2 CPUs, allocate 10 workers without any problems, and they will allocate like I don't know what size of the PHP script, but basically it can be like 3 gigabytes of memory, like this 10 workers. If you have like really big workers, like really big workers. But adding and maintaining all of this kind of stuff, it's pretty, it's pretty hard. Because dynamic pool is not only, I wanted to have dynamic pool, so they just appeared. This is why I have to do a serious research on this. First of all, what metrics should we choose to scale For sure, we can do this like PHP FPM, like doing just allocate. So just allocate. So user asked, we do like just allocate. I don't want to move on this dump road because I wanted for runner to be smart solution. So yeah, might be dump ways here acceptable. So yeah, why not? So this is on demand. Why not? I don't know, but so nowadays this is very easy to make up and running like a small Kubernetes cluster. So even to have an experience on this. But maintaining this is pretty hard because there are, so if you introduce one small feature, so just imagine like it in open source, you are introducing a small feature. And now, so they have dynamic pool. Yeah, so we wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 5 feature requests. We wanted this. Yeah. We also on demand. We also, so we moved to dynamic pool. Why we don't have on demand pool? So, and a user start forcing you to implement all of these things, which I have no opinion on these features. So I can't say this would be good or bad for the RoadRunner in the future. This is definitely a good solution to have a static pool, since workers are pretty small. And this would be also super cool to, to have some things which reduce memory usage, to have a small static pool, small and efficient. But as you may see here, I proposed a few ways how we can handle this, like theoretically. So I even read a book about this observability things. And so what metrics we have to choose to scale the pool? So first option, we have a latency. So latency, how long we have this worker inside the pool. Yeah, so pretty fair. So user can like specify, like for example, if we have a worker working for the 10 seconds, we can add another one. But what is the cost of adding one more worker? Just think about this. What is the cost? You think, okay, so if I add one more worker, all of the things becomes like faster. But you might have access to the database which already overloaded. And adding one worker make the overall situation even worse, because you have another one process which trying to like attack your database which already overloaded. So okay, next thing, so we can have a queue of the requests, or queue of the requests which already sent to the pool. Like for example, if we reach 1,000 of the 100 requests in the queue, so we can allocate one more worker. So like make this like our base metric for the on dynamic pool allocation. Okay, so but how we can measure that all our overall situation of allocation one new worker makes application more responsible for the interaction with user? So I don't know. So this is kind of also need some feedback from the other side. This is kind of this book. About CPU load. Yeah, we can track a CPU load and add new worker if CPU like too low, or I don't know, too low. I think it would be fair to add new worker to utilize resources better. So there are a lot of questions which nowadays can be asked. And on the other hand, we have solutions like Kubernetes and Nomad. And we provide a lot of metrics, all of these metrics like queue size, which can have, which can supervise the resources, like which can supervise and see what is actual resource demand on this small pod. For example, we have like reached memory limit, we reached CPU limit, we reached like IO opened files limit, a lot of things we can observe from outside, not from the like inside. And my opinion on this, that this is pretty straightforward, that the application have some static resource consumptions. This is super predictable for the products, to handle products. So if we have static resource consumption, we can easily scale your application like vertically or even like horizontally. If you have like a big a big server, for example, and you wanted to allocate one more, like add one more runner into this server to handle like more requests and utilize better resources of this server, this fits this problem much better, I think. So, and I and I don't want to add like a feature. So I want to have. I'm sorry, guys. I want to have. So in PHP FPM we have the 3 pool options. Can we do this with RoadRunner? There are a lot of whys. And I don't know, so I don't think this ticket, this is kind of, 97, number 97, so this is kind of old ticket, since we have ticket number like the last one, 1570, So this ticket is pretty old. I don't think, do we have an older? So we also have, I also proposed an idea based on the, for the HTTP plugin, which can work on, on latency threshold. But this is also, so, I don't know, I read a lot of books about this, the observability things, and I'm still not sure that we should have this. And so for the RoadRunner, if I'm not sure that feature will bring a good to our users, it will not going to be, it won't be implemented inside the RoadRunner. So that's kind of easy. So no one forced me to implement this feature. For example, this, like the last feature request, adds the ability to configure the user group as service. This is fair feature. This is okay. This is not so big as dynamic or on-demand pool, but this is kind of fair feature because we have this user and group permission for the big server for the workers. Why don't we have this for the servers? And this is fair question. So why I should run the command, this command, under the root rather than running it under the specific user and group, like here, like www data and www data as well. So why not have this? Is fair question, and I'm agree with this. So we should have this feature also added to the servers to have all our permissions handled correctly across the application, like this. And feature accepted. Let's move to the RoadRunner and let's move it to the milestone number 3. I'm just like, let's move it to the 3.0 and answer this guy. This is also, you might ask why. So if you have some, popular product, because RoadRunner is it's not like superstar inside the servers, but it's kind of popular. So if I need this feature, why do you think that your opinion it's should be over mine, for example, or vice versa? So in this case, I'm trying to answer like this. So we all should be professionals, And even inside open source development, which is very hard to achieve, but so we should hear other opinions. And this thing which I learned, like super a lot of times, I learned from the open source, like working more than I think 3 years in like solely in open source, full day, like 24 hours a day, like 7 days a week, because it's open source, you know. You should hear other opinions. Definitely should hear other opinions. So if it's for this, I don't see any opinions on this ticket. No other opinions, no other discussions. This article can be used as a source of inspirations. Yeah, so this is also cool, but that won't inspire me a lot. Yeah, this is 404. Yeah, kind of old link. Where is this ticket? And I see that like 7 users already put the thumb up on this ticket to implement this. I'm hearing the opinions. I hear other opinions, but I don't see any opinions here on this ticket. So it's kind of, you know, for me it's kind of I don't see the future of this ticket or this feature. So yeah. Okay, this is like a little pain of the open source developer, but yeah, open source is, you know, this is kind of interesting experience which you can get maintaining like an open source product full day. So might be we need to do the following. I think we should not after need. So this is kind of, I don't know. Should we add this to the pool options, or should we add this to the, I don't know, to the server options? Let me. So I should also answer on this question. I understand. Have 2 projects. First, app producer sends messages to Kafka broker. The second one, app consumer should take them from broker and run corresponding job. The app producer successfully sends messages to Kafka, but the app consumer does not receive them. If one project is a producer and consumer, this is not problem. Where is producer, by the way? So yeah, this is kind of how open source works. So you should like constantly jump from one task to another, answer to users, like, and should be basically like kind of super multitask friendly person. Let me find it. Kafka. And I think okay. Okay, so I think we should add the possibility for the pool to override the configuration for the on init and after init options. Because if we add, so this kind of expected, if I add after init a write inside the pool, the write after 1 millisecond, the next bug or request will be the I tried to write on init, why nothing happened. So this is kind of super expected. Super expected. And I think I need to handle this case first. Okay, so how we can handle this? Run on init command. Do we need to change the behavior of on init? Because on init runs here, runs in the serve. It's not running inside. It's not running inside the pool. But how can we achieve this behavior? How can we? So this is kind of fair behavior. Let me check. RoadRunner issues after init. So as we see here, I can have this command for HTTP or gRPC, and this is fair, so that I could start accepting requests without waiting for the jobs plugin. Yeah, and this is kind of fair because this solves a particular problem. So you have several plugins, and for example, if these plugins are like very heavy to workers were heavy to allocate, so they allocated, like you have like 100 workers and allocation time of 1 second. So this is like more than a minute to allocate all workers, and you don't want to. Oh no, we have a parallel allocator, so this is kind of 1 second. Yeah. So we don't need to wait like 1-2 seconds. how we can leave the previous behavior wait for a second. How we can I think we should not touch on it. Unfortunately, so I can basically predict the case when the user start asking why I can't override on init on every pool, but so we just can't by ourselves change this behavior, because this would be a breaking change. If the user expecting that onInit will run only once, and after update it will run on every pool initialization, this will be might break user applications. We should not do this. But for the after init, since it's new, we can override this command. Okay, so let's do like this. This is new pool, yeah? Options. If configuration after init is not equal to nil, opts. Oh, 1 second. This is slice. Static pool with after custom key command. Oh, it's not a pointer. And here we just doing like this. So this is a way how we can actually change the behavior of our thing, our function, based on the options. So we can just this is a preferred way how you should allocate the things, like for example here static pool options, without actually allocating anything. So if we have after init equal to nil, this line won't allocate anything because it's nil allocation. And I think we have Google Golang style guide, yeah, and it should be somewhere here as far as I remember. Slice. Nil slices, yeah. So this is nil, and this is good practice because this kind of slice would be nil, so nothing would be allocated. You can also allocate like this is the same, but bad is allocating like this because this will allocate actually slice with 0 len, and you might not add anything to this slice, and you'll just useless allocation. So don't do like this. Yeah, and this is, by the way, who wanted to learn about this style guide, I posted this into the chat. So this is kind of cool, you know, style guide with a lot of nice things which you can take into account writing Go code. Yeah, this is the group management service. Yeah, this is how I often use fields inside the structure. So I'm grouping them by the like what they're responsible for. The comments, yeah. So don't miss this style guide. It's super cool. Okay, so and here we also like, you know, allocating nothing, and if we pass here nothing, we just pass a nil. So we don't need to. We don't have an after init function at all. So this actually doesn't matter what we use inside new pool. Yeah. So we should not touch it at all. So if we have might be we need to put all of these process management things inside the new pool. I'm sorry, inside the SDK. Because here I needed to, you know, I needed to move this thing outside. By the way, I'm stupid dumb. You know this, but I'm super stupid. Why do we need to run this like after init on this line of code rather than executing it here, like on this line of code? Why? And in this case, we can put everything in one place, like, you know, the only thing that we need is to override our command. How we can override our command? It's easier. We have an access to the pool. So pool get config, and here you are. So, I'm super dumb. Oh my god! So I forget about this feature. So we can have where is our SDK, and we can basically have the following: an option, where is configuration, config. After init command, this, and wait, why I don't have this? After init command. Oh, I forget to save this. Or I forget to... No, I do have this replace. Or after init comment. Yeah, here you are. So if we have this after init comment available here, we can just compare them. So if we write this comment inside the pool like this, static pool, after init, we don't need a comment here, like a big comment. We just can go like this. Oh, we don't need to do anything here. Yeah. Oh my god. So dumb. Just forget about this feature. Yeah, so I like I thought about this scenario and I created a method which is interface method getConfig, which can provide a pool configuration to to the server who requested the pool. And here, if we have for example, if configuration after init is not equal to nil, so we have after init command, yeah, then first of all we need to rename this file. Let on init, let's call it just init. Super cool name. And I think do we need to decouple this from the plugin? What method do we need from this plugin? If we remove this logger, we need logger, and that's it. Yeah, so p is equal to, so since we have we should create our own structure here. So p here means that we have a write method implemented on this write function, I'm sorry, on the structure. So write, and since stdir and stdout are write implementers, so we can basically pass this structure, assign it here, and just so since all of this writers, we can just use a writer and type init structure. We don't, so would it be init? So I'm just thinking it will will it argue about this init name, because it's we have init function in Golang which initialize something. Return init. What? What init factory? Undefined init. Can yeah, we can't use this name. So we should, like, you know, create some name. Bum, bum, bum. Foo is perfect name. It's like a super perfect name for the any structure, like foo, bar, bus, and etc. etc. So all of them are super cool. Let's call it bootstrap. I can't like imagine like other name. Bootstrap. Fine. And let's like this, and we should have here a log zap logger. We should have here environment variables. We should have, oh, we don't need this uppercase letters. So yeah, the other thing in Go, which like I can't get comfortable with like a lot of time, is uppercase and lowercase first letter. So lowercase first letter means that the method is private, and uppercase means it's public. Why? Who? It's just, for me, it's just like, just why? Why this decision? I can, so nowadays I'm comfortable with that, but initially it was like, why? 100 whys. Command string and execution timeout. And also hate camel case. I hate camel case. I can't get comfortable. So this is super cool for me. Like, but this one, camel case, this is not cool. I prefer to like split the words by underscore case. Underscore case is a future. So new timer, it should duration, yeah. Time duration. And we should provide all of the things in the constructor. Not complex. And exact timeout, time duration, like this. Logger is logger, env is env, command is command, execution timeout is execution timeout. What are you expecting? Expected type. Oh. Okay. Boom, everything works. Okay, so run on init command. But also Bootstrap is like it's for on init. It's not for on after init. Let me call it just command. So just command. Okay, so command, just start. New command, create process. Yeah, looks fine. And like here, if we not have, if it's not equal to nil, yeah. If pool get configuration after init command is not equal to empty, we just replace cmd with pl get config after init command. No. No. Not correct. Configuration after init command. This one. Okay, so if after init is not equal to nil, we expect, and we checked before this, that we have a command and we have exact timeout. So we have two terms. They are mandatory to have. Like this. And then we run, how we can do this? Like this. Just run it. Yeah, we can just run it because currently we need to. We don't have the cmd to write. cmd after init, let's call it kmdi is equal new command, and we should pass here logger environment cmd and the last thing is duration. Execution timeout. And then we should start. And it can return an error. We can just print an error message. Boom, like this. But not on init, only after init was finished with error, and log debug after init. Like this. Okay, so and after this we add in pool to the list of pools. Yeah, like this. And that's it, guys. I think this is definitely what I wanted to have. I don't need this type anymore inside the pool. Don't need this command. Okay, so let's check. Where's terminal? Terminal's here, and let's check the difference. So options, I think I would require the options later. So this is like, you know, guys, 2.5 hours of stream, like we added 3 lines of code, like true work. How it looks like. We added an option here, options. Basically, I think I will need them later to write some pool properties. So let's leave it here. And we added to our SDK one command called after init. So user can write it basically with its own command. And inside the pool, terminal, inside the pool, first of all, we renamed on init configuration to the init configuration. So both of on init and after init can share the same structure here. This is the renaming. Next thing, we handle this after init case. So if we after init is not nil, we just double checked this. Then what's happened? Oh yeah, now it's okay. So if we have this after init, we just double check them so that we should have a comment. Oh yeah, and issue here that we have on init, but we should have after init. Copy pasta. Okay. Next thing, we need to remove this. This is replacement. We removed all of this kind of stuff related to our specific to on-init process manager. And oh, I need to remove this guy, this bad guy. Yeah. Should be somewhere here. We definitely don't need this anymore. Yeah, and we should fix this. Let me try to do like this. R is equal to new command. Logger. Only need environment variables, command and duration. Only need command, exit timeout, and do like this. Start, immediate start. We can basically do the same for the after init. So we like this, and we should remove this. And instead of providing options, we don't have them at the moment. We can just pass a nil. Yeah, and remove this comment. We don't need it anymore. Cool. Okay, so self-review code, like we should self-review ourselves. Nil, we have an option, configuration. So here we have initialization command, so we should, if it's not equal to nil, and if we have after init command from our pool is not equal to empty space, we can also provide this, like, can override it. So override our original command with after init command. Yeah. In this case, we just need to execute after this, and if it produces an error, we just like log an error. And yeah, so this is another kind of issue. Completion. So what's happened with my completion engine? So I'm using nightly version of NeoVim, so it's problems are expected to have. So yeah, kind of funny thing. Here, where's this method? Yeah, log error, and then we're going to log debug after init successfully executed. So we actually don't need this debug. So if we don't see this error, so it means that after init was successfully executed, so we don't need to do this. Okay, so and this method will be called after every pool initialization. So new pool is called by every plugin, and yeah, we can easily, override this after init command. So basically that's it. One more issue, one more happy user. So for this after init command. So the rest I just need to add a few tests to test this feature, like release and version. So by the way, I wanted to share with you how we handle the different releases. So first of all, we have a very stable like a year .1.x releases. So 1, 2, 3. It's like minor versions. So minor versions receive only the bug fixes. Any feature will be addressed only to the next minor version. So only bug fixes are accepted for the like current like supported minor version. So you just can't like you have zero options to pass any feature, like because all of these versions pretended to be super stable, like only bug fixes. But how we can handle this case if we wanted to introduce some feature to the plugin, and so I don't want to have this pull request hanging here in this list for like month or 2 or 3. So we have different dedicated branches to every stable release. For example, here branch number, like branch with name 450, dedicated to version 2023.2.0, so next version. And this version, like next minor version, contains features, like for example feature support TLS connection. So IMQPS will be supported in the next minor release of the RoadRunner. So we have this branch, and we have this one 4.4, which receives a cherry picks from this one, from this like the upcoming branch, let's say upcoming release. So inside the cherry picks we have only, as we see here, like type affixes, dependency updates, and like features like this. But if we compare it to this one, you may see that we have you know, a lot of changes here, like TLS edit, dial function slightly updated, and we also have this multiply egg. We don't have SSTLS, yeah, for sure. So we have it only inside 4.5.0. So this is how we handle multiply like stable versions. This is not super complicated to, you know, to handle, because basically so you only need to, you know, handle 2 branches. That's it. So I thought that I updated. Okay, so yeah, so this is how we handle this kind of stuff. And for the server plugin, I also create a branch dedicated to 4.1. So we have different minor releases per every plugin. So for example, for the server plugin we would have 4.1, yeah, and 4.1x would be supported with 2023.1. like minor releases, but 4.2 will have this feature with after init, like. And for the tests, since 4.2, for example, for the server is supersede of, so it have all of the functions on all of the features available for the 4.1 plus additional which we introduce in new releases. For the test, we test only the latest tag, like 4.2 here. Because it like a supersede of all of supersedes the features which is contained in the other branches, so it have all of them. And tests, basically we don't have I don't think that this is a good idea to have 3 different test cases, test suites to test every plugin. So we just have like big end-to-end test for the all features, like past and the future. And this is kind of important because we can test like past features and how they interfere with the current features which we introduce. So no past features should be should be broken, and while new features can be like introduced. Yeah. So okay, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for being with me, and I think I will be online after the conference. I just remember that we with Anton will be on the PHP conference in Poznan, Poland. So we are going to be here the whole day, I think. So if you want to meet with us, get the merch. I think I'll get a few caps with the RoadRunner logo, so don't miss your cap. Yeah, so would be super cool to see you guys who wanted to like meet with us. Okay, thank you very much for being with me, and have a great day, and see you guys. Bye bye.